And we've made it to Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. We're here at what's called the Dune Climb. As you can see, we get to climb up a sand dune right behind us. So it's a good they have my hiking shoes on, although as you can tell, some people might probably go up barefoot, especially in the summertime. But yeah, just right off M109, which is like a little loop road that goes off M22. And to come in, you have to pay a minimum of $15 for a week pass. But what's nice is that the week pass, or if you buy like an annual pass, you can get to any part of Sleeping Bear Dunes with the same pass. And well, anyway, enough of my talking here, and let's actually start the climb. Unlike that sand dune at Warren Dunes that I went up, this one I think might be more manageable, although I'll tell you the truth when I get to the top. As what AC/DC would say, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. We all still miss Bon Scott too, by the way. This is quite beautiful up here. Over there we have Glen Lake. Yeah, those sand dunes can really tire out a little bit. So we made it to the top, but wait a minute, did I just say the top? If you thought I was nuts just now, you're absolutely correct. Look at this, we have a lot more sand dunes we can go up. We're gonna head that way. Looks like we got another little dune climb to come up to, and well, let's do this. And we made it to the top, and take a look at the view behind me. It's a lot windier up here, so I'm actually continuing on the trail a little bit further. You can see a stake that's at the top of the dune over there, and I do not mean a tender, juicy steak, not like that. See what type of view we get up there, and then we'll eventually head back to the parking lot. And out there, my friends, is Lake Michigan. Once we get back in the car, we're eventually going to be heading to another spot of the dunes to where we can get a better view of the lake. Although we went further, but I got a ways to go back, and to be honest, that wore me out a little bit. It's like you don't know how much sand dunes wear you out till you actually climb one. Or in my case, 3 or 4 of them. All I can say is, I think I worked out that cherry pie I had early in the video. Oh yeah, and there's South Manitou Island over there too. Alright, let's go back to the car. Well, except for this upcoming hill, the rest of the way should be downhill, and I'm going with the wind so it won't feel as cold. And I can see the parking lot. And the sun is finally coming out, so the rest of the day should be really nice. So coming up next, I'm going to get back in the car, continue down M109, and there's a nice scenic drive which takes you more into the dunes, which is actually something I actually did when I was a kid. Alright, we made it to the Pierce Stocking Scenic Drive. This is another big part of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, and when I was a kid, my family and I actually came to this part of the park. And yeah, there should be a couple cool spots along the way, including at the dunes themselves, where you get a great view of Lake Michigan and the view from up high. Oh wow, this is really cool. So like, yeah, if I would have come a couple of weeks later from now, imagine all the fall color in here. This is beautiful. I don't remember this at all. Of course, then again, I think when my family and I came up here, I was 11. And I'm 28 now. I was like, yeah, 17 years ago. Pretty cool. Now we made a little pull off along the road, and look at this view. This is Glen Lake again. This is beautiful. We're pretty high up too.
You doing this by yourself?
And we made it back. Sleeping Bear Dunes. You can see the Manitou Islands over there, South Manitou and North Manitou over there.
Yeah, Tim and I walked this.
And then, remember the Dune Climb we did earlier? That's the parking area for that all the way over there. Matter of fact, I think you can see the part of the trail all the way over there. Feels pretty cool up here though. So yeah, there should be another pullover spot down the scenic drive, and we'll be able to get a great view of Lake Michigan and more of the Sleeping Bear Dunes with the really high view. Alright, made it to the Lake Michigan overlooks. So we're gonna head that way and go over to the dunes. And here we are, just a short walk. And as the sign says, yeah, you may not want to go down unless you want to take a 2-hour climb. So yeah, look at this view. Let's go over here and get an even better view. What a view from up here. This is absolutely beautiful. Now let's come over here. We can go where those people are. Lake Michigan, my friends. Alright, we're back in the car, and no, I am not going to do a singing video here. If you watch one of my earlier videos from this year, I did a little singing video inside the car like this, but Anyway, since we're in a quieter atmosphere without the wind, I'm going to tell a little story. Legends say that a giant bear is sleeping underneath the sands here. I'm going to tell you the legend of the sleeping bear. A long time ago, there was a mother bear and her 2 cubs who were trying to escape a huge fire over in Wisconsin. So they swam the dark, cold waters of Lake Michigan. This was in the middle of the night. And it was so dark that at some point while they were crossing, the mother bear actually lost sight of her cubs. The next day, the mother bear made it to the other side of Lake Michigan, over on this side where the Sleeping Bear Dunes are today. And she eventually looked out and she saw her 2 cubs struggling to stay afloat. The mother bear was not only concerned but scared about what was going to happen. And then, unfortunately, the 2 cubs drowned underneath the waves of the lake. All the mother bear did after that was just look out the lake in sorrow, being sad about the loss of her cubs. However, the spirit Gitche Manitou actually came in front of the mother bear and saw the pain and mourning that the mother bear was in. So in the spots where the 2 cubs sank into the lake, as a part of their courage to get over to the lake, the spirit actually raised 2 islands in Lake Michigan, just off the shore. And we have 2 islands, North Manitou and South Manitou Island, or islands. The mother bear then lie down on the sand dunes and then poured a blanket of sand on top of her, and she sleeps until this very day. My friends, that was the legend of the sleeping bear. I probably didn't tell it perfectly, but it's a common legend that's told here in Michigan. So basically, the North and South Manitou Islands represent where the 2 cubs sank, and then the Sleeping Bear Dunes themselves is where the bear is sleeping underneath. Okay, let's head to Empire. Alright, made over to Empire, although technically the small little downtown village is just half a mile that way, but I figured to stop here at the little beach really quick. But yeah, we're just a couple miles south of the main part of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, and there's a little bit more to the south of here as well, which is where we're going to end today's video. It's actually going to be a spot where I actually did a video a few years ago. So it's actually going to be the Platte River. But yeah, where we were at that overlook at Sleeping Bear Dunes, it is right over there. And right over there is actually the Manning Lighthouse. It's actually a very modern lighthouse. It was built in the early 1990s to honor fisherman Robert Manning. But yeah, a little fun fact, Empire was named after a schooner that was called Empire. But yeah, the waves are awfully choppy here today. And it's really nice that the sun is finally coming out. And at this little beach, we have a little play area for the kids as well as a basketball court. All right, let's head down further on M22 and head over to the Platte River. And we made it over to the Platte River, and as you can tell, there's not much of a breeze over here because we're a little bit I'm a good couple miles from Lake Michigan, so you can't really feel it. So I let my jacket in the car. So we can come down here to the Platte River. And here is the Platte River. And right over there is Riverside Canoe Trips. You can actually get some canoe and inner tube rentals inside there. Or you can bring your own canoe or kayak or inner tube, and you can float down this beautiful river. It takes you, yeah, I read the sign. It's actually it's a 4.5 mile trip all the way to Lake Michigan. And from here, it actually will take you over into Loon Lake. So you actually have to cross the lake, although they say you have to follow the side of the lake because it's deep in the middle. But with the exception of crossing the lake, pretty much, yeah, it's a fast-moving river. Well, not fast, but it moves you down to Lake Michigan. Further downstream on the Platte River, past Loon Lake, we actually have a fish weir right over here. Ooh, and during the fall, they have a little road that's open to cars to where you can actually park over here, and the salmon are actually swimming upstream. Oh, missed them. Oh well. And here's the Platte River again. We're here at the Eldorado Park, we're getting close to Lake Michigan. It's actually not too much further that way. But the river is very quiet because of the fact there's no people canoeing or tubing down the river. Little fun fact, except for one time where we start from like where the Riverside Canoe Trips is. My family and I used to come up here all the time. We camped over at, I think, Timberline Campground over on 31, south of Benzonia. And then we usually stopped here, and we actually got on inner tubes over here and took the river all the way to where it empties out into Lake Michigan. But, of course, we took like a couple cars to where we shuttle each other, so that way we can start here and then we can finish up down by the big lake, and then, of course, get all of our cars and then head back to camp. But I actually was here a few years ago where I did a short Let's Visit video. When I did that video, with a lot less, or not as good of video quality, there are a lot of people on this river tubing. But now it's just nice and quiet over here. Alright, before we close up today's video, we're going to head over to the mouth of the Platte River over at Lake Michigan. And I'm going to need my jacket back on over there. And here we are at last. We are here at the Platte River Point. And all in this general area, even the Platte River Campground back that way on Lake Michigan Road, is still a part of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. And we'll end the video over in that area where we can actually see the sand dunes. But if we come over here, here is where the Platte River comes from, and if you do like the canoe or inner tube trips, this is basically where you get off. Although you can actually get off over down here. During the summertime, there are so many people over here. In fact, there's many people usually camp down in the water over here. Because I actually remember that a few years ago when I was last year doing that other Let's Visit video. And then all the way over there you can see Lake Michigan. And there's South Manitou Island all the way over there, and then you can see Sleeping Bear Dunes over there. And here is the mouth of the Platte River. It's right out into Lake Michigan. You can see South Manitou Island over there, and then over there, that's the Sleeping Bear Dunes. absolutely beautiful over here. Yeah, definitely love this part of the state. But yeah, Sleeping Bear Dunes is absolutely beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite spots along the Lake Michigan coastline. So yeah, we had a great adventure here today. We started up all the way up in Leelanau, Michigan, just a little bit north of the 45th parallel. Made our way down to Glen Arbor, had some cherry pie and got to smell some cherry wine. And we got to check out the Sleeping Bear Dunes. We did the Dune Climb, saw some spectacular views of Lake Michigan and Glen Lake. Then we went over to a Lake Michigan Scenic Overlook over on the Pierce Stocking Scenic Trail, or Scenic Drive. And then we made a quick stop over at the beach in Empire and came down here to the Platte River. So yeah, definitely check out Sleeping Bear Dunes the next time you're in northern Michigan. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a like or a thumbs up. For more Scottman895 travel videos, definitely click that subscribe button. At the end of every video, links to my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Well, thank you for watching today's video here at Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, as well as Leelanau and Glen Arbor, Michigan. And this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.